Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Lich's Archives. Today, we are sadly missing a player. That's the MIA, but that's not going to stop us from playing. So, last we left off in the Lich's Archives, you guys were wandering around Thornbluff. You were looking into a couple of things. You've already looked at the tower once, dealt with a little incursion from some of the local wildlife, but Tap Tap was called back to Yun by their own volition, deciding that they had better things to do. And sadly, they ended up leaving, but they did give a few parting gifts. The rest of the group, they had still a decent night. You know, they avoided the rain, they stayed inside, they had a short meeting with Bismuth the following morning, and they've decided that the best thing to do is to deal with this mage tower, to figure out what's going on with this spectator. So they did just that. They had a couple of plans. One of them was perhaps freeing this entity from the tower, but after a conversation and a couple more...
He's crazy as fuck.
Exactly, he was indeed crazy as fuck. So they decided to go for plan B, which involved Assy continuing higher into the tower. After that, they realized that there are no latches on this window. This thing seemed to speak into their mind, and they couldn't hear it creeping up, neck behind them, but suddenly something took a hold of them, and that's when we come back. Assy, you're currently by this window looking out. You just turned around to face Jitch. I'm only just now realizing I haven't grabbed my dice yet, because I am a true professional. And while I'm grabbing my dice, the rest of the party was coming upstairs, and I believe I was asking all of you to roll initiative. So please do that.
The reason he doesn't need to roll his dice is because everything he rolls is just a nat 20.
Yeah.
And he doesn't need to know what he rolls to kill us.
Yeah, I just make it up, and it's always nat 20. I'm not very original.
It's a d20 with nothing but 20s, right?
Yes. And
I mean, I'm sure they sell one of those somewhere.
That's just good math.
I'll summon a D100 every now and again.
Everything that's not 101 is a crit.
Don't need this. Don't need that. Don't need these.
The worst part is you kind of cucked me, because when I rolled initiative last time, I got a nat 20.
Well, the thing with dice rolls is, it's more about the average.
Nat 20!
Just because you rolled high ones means nothing to me.
Yeah, it means I'll never roll high again.
Yeah, exactly.
I stole your 20!
Oh, you guys, hold on, I gotta roll this. Alright, who got 20 to 25?
23.
23. Shalasha, what did you get?
I got a 14.
14.
So did I.
Who has the higher dex?
Him.
0.
Oh, I have a +0.
Okay, so I guess we
Rollies.
roll. That's a 1.
11.
11. Pull slightly faster. Alright, now, before I do anything, I just gotta quickly, get my dice out, being as I am a true professional, and then we can get into this. I don't even need all of the dice, I just need, some of my dice besides just a d20.
It's just a dice he has that every side just says kill the player.
That's that one.
He rolls a d20 and it's just skulls on every side.
Guys, stop
That's
letting me
about
know
right.
my secrets. Yes,
Remember the Vickers? I remember the Vickers.
I remember the Vickers
Justin, you haven't had the honor, but
because of the Vickers.
one.
When
I'm assuming it's a fight where he rolled really, really well.
Uh,
No.
They were
It's just-
literally motor blenders.
When I think of the word Vicar, all that comes to mind is rap and a wood chipper.
don't. I'll
See, they
put
had
some
like
in this campaign
8
just for
arms,
you.
and they attacked with each arm every turn.
They have 4 arms and they have 2 attacks per arm, actually.
So 8 attacks each turn.
Like
I think
roll
that's like-
fighter at the very base. Never mind anything else. and it's just like, oh, I'm level 6. I'm going to die.
I found every die except for the one I need.
And didn't they have like a +5 to hit or some crazy thing like that?
Don't worry about it.
I don't know what it was.
They are CR14. I will say that much. They are
like the base, or is that going to be addition? Like, are you expanding the race itself?
The Vicars, in the new book that's coming out, I actually have 3 versions of them. There's the Vicar, there's the Vicars, there's the Raiders, and there's the Shamans. Oh, I could also add the Grave Snakes. That's another thing I could write up at some
Oh god,
point.
no, not the Grave Snake. That thing was nightmare fuel.
We're almost there. We're almost there. Alright, we're there. We're good. So, focus. I need to change this to this. Change this to this. Everyone knows I'm a true D&D professional. Yes, I'm being noticed for my prowess. Alright, so, Assie, you will be going first, but allow me to set the scene for you fine fellows once I remember how this thing plays. I got
When you get over our riveting commentary.
Yes. We had the intro, we had the start of the session, now the session actually starts, now that I've sat down and remembered how to breathe. So,
Literacy, my
You
only
know
weakness.
Assie, you are upstairs at the top of this tower. You can hear the sounds of footsteps approaching from below you. Your back is currently up against this window.
Mm-hmm.
The sun is starting to... I believe it's still midday, so there's still quite a bit of light flooding into this area. There is... I believe I have the number of windows. A number of windows around this place. There is a mirror across from you. There is a table with a chair. And then there's 2 crystals in here. One seems to be fractured in half, and the other one is beneath some sort of arguably airtight container. Jitch is wondering why my music is so loud, as if I'm trying to drown myself out. Good call, Jitch, good call. And while he's saying this, and he's talking to third person, his very long tongue is almost hitting the floor directly in front of you, leaving a little saliva marking, if you will. It's not my best description, but he's currently looking at you. What would you like to do as you're looking at this 5-eyed aberration?
I would like to rage, but I can't because I'm a rogue.
Good call, good call.
Yeah. So, what can I do? Did I know, you didn't tell me before, but I had asked you last session if my bag of pickling refreshed its juice.
And I said you'd have to look in it, but it probably has a little something back in it.
Okay,
Just remember, crying is a free action.
But the things you threw out of it didn't recharge, I believe is what I said. The brine, if you will, is there.
Yes, that's what I need. That's what I need, because I didn't actually lose any of my vegetables when I splashed them in the eyes. When I splashed the squirrel in the eyes. So, I would like to grab a bag of pickling off my hip, and I'm holding it at the ready, trying to, like, circle around, so then, I want to, like, sort of see if I can coax Jit into getting closer to the covered crystal under the glass box.
Okay, he is about 15 feet away from you, just so you're aware. So you're not, like, pressed up against her. He's just kind of floating above the table looking at you.
Are we gonna retcon the fact that Jitch, like, licked?
He has a
The rope?
very long tongue.
Okay, because I thought it was a grapple.
No. He doesn't have a grapple. He just has the tongue of a very, very gifted
I know he lashed out and hit me
Monk.
last time because I'm already at 22 hit points.
I believe that was someone Ire.
Yeah.
No, I don't
Yeah,
think
because I
he did
remember
bite you.
they stuck the tongue against you and attacked you.
Yeah, he hit me with a ray, and then he like licked me from a distance.
So what are you doing?
How far away is he from the thing, the covered box?
The glass case.
We'll also say 15 feet. We'll keep it simple, as this is currently theater of mind, and I'm all about simplicity for my own sake.
I want to like keep sidestepping until I'm between the covered box and the door, and I have the bag of pickling ready, and I'm gonna like flash him in the eyes the minute he makes a move. But right now I'm trying to I just tried to convince him that I'm not real.
So you want to take your movement towards the covered box, held action.
No, towards the door, but like between the box, the door. I want to like line up covered box, Jitch, me, the door.
This is like a decent count.
Okay, so you want to move towards the door and have Jitch between you and the covered box.
Yes.
Okay, got it. With your movement, you will be able to make it to the stairs easily. Do you want to stay on this level? Go down the stairs?
I want to go down the stairs, but I also want to use I want to splash him in the eyes with pickle juice, and then I want to
Then
use.
make an attack roll for me.
Yeah. And then next turn, I'm going to take out the box with my sling,
Okay,
if possible. Ooh. 18.
18.
Oh wait, no. This I don't have my proficiency because this is just like a bag. It's not. It's an improvised weapon. Yeah.
Weapon, yes.
Yeah. So then that would be 2 less. So 15, 16.
Yeah, that'll still hit.
Okay, so I pickle.
I'm going
him.
to give him a con save, and we'll see how
In
that
his eyes.
goes. Yes. Well, he is mostly eyes.
Does
Okay.
he have disadvantage because he's eyes?
Whoa, you're asking for a lot now. Right, and what's your plan after that? You're continuing down the stairs, or you just want to stay here and watch, sort of thing?
I want to step back down the stairs. I want to keep the box in my eyes, and I want to switch out the bag of pickling for my sling. Because I want to try and break that box and see if I can gas him with whatever is in it.
Okay, so you start moving
Mhm.
counterclockwise along this room. As you get close to the stairs, your hands dropping, and you're doing this pretty slowly, we'll say. You're not exactly in a rush for this. And you reach down and you splash forward with this bag of pickle juice, and it does connect with his eye, and Jitch lets out this screech, and he's kind of like, he wants to turn away, but being the fact that he's just this floating entity, he just kind of like rolls backwards, almost like you see his eye roll back in the socket, and he's following his eye. And that's the last thing you see, is you just kind of like start moving down the stairs, and all of you upstairs can hear him yelling. With that, we will get to Arot's turn, and he's running up the stairs as well, and he sees you, and he's going to pull out his bow, and he flattens himself against the wall, and it looks like he's knocking an arrow, and he's like pointing it up that way. Just, Cole, it's
Hit the box! Hit the box! Break that glass!
okay. Cole, you're up, followed by Shalashar.
Oh, that's our cue. I will dash upstairs.
Alright, so you run upstairs, and you can see Jitch, who is, like I said, floating in the middle of the air. He's trying to, like, look away. He's avoiding his gaze. He probably doesn't see right now, and his 4 other eye stalks are just flipping in all sorts of direction. It looks like he's in a complete panic, and he doesn't really know what he's doing at this moment.
Probably my entire turn. That's all I can do.
Alright, fair enough. Shalashar, can you roll a perception for me, just because you have the highest and you are at the back?
Yep. Let's see. 14 plus expertise. That's plus 6. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Alright, so as everyone's running up, something does catch your eye in this room of illusions as you make it to, what is it, the third floor, fourth floor? The floor with all of the illusions, we'll say. I can find it.
The third is the one with illusions, I believe.
Yeah, the fourth floor is the one with illusions. You can still... Yes, because you have the bottom, you have the study, you have the bedroom, you have the illusions, you have the fifth floor. So it's the fourth floor that you're on right now. Fair? Alright, cool. Glad we figured it out. You can make out, again, there's the two illusions. One of them playing cards, another one telling the same joke again and again and again.
Starting to think it's not in my backyard.
Yes, it isn't in your backyard, but you also can make out something that was in the far back of the corner, and it almost looks like a little rift. It's just another thing that looks like maybe it's part of another illusion or something. It just briefly catches your eye as you're heading up.
Is the set of stairs, the one set of stairs to get to the top floor where everyone is that just like all my movement, like 30 feet? Or how far up is it?
I have a measurement for these. I believe it takes about 15 feet to go up a flight of stairs.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
You could get to where Cole is at the 5th level by taking a full 30, which is what he did.
Court took a dash action?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But you guys went all the way down, right? This would be like from the start
Yeah,
of...
we were just on...
Yes. Because you guys all went down, right? And
Oh, yeah, 15. Yep, okay. So I'll take my movement up, and as I'm passing, I'll notice whatever was glinting, and I will get a little distracted.
So you...
Obviously. Yep, I'll go to it, and I'll try and inspect it. If it's Arcana, if it's...
Alright.
I would like to inspect it, but not use my hands.
It will take your action to make, well, we'll call it an Arcana check, if that's how you want to spend your action.
Yep, if Arcana is the best,
Yeah,
then
so
yes.
you would have gone to the top of this, moved away from the stairs towards this weird sort of glinting thing.
That is a 16.
16.
Let's stand up again.
So you move towards this thing, and what catches your eye is it's... Whatever it is enchanted or it's under some sort of spell. If you had to put your money on it, it's under some sort of illusion or an invisibility spell. And you're really not sure what it is. There is no physicality to this thing because you don't want to reach out and touch it, but you can just see that there's something weird in this space. And now that you're looking at it and you're on top of it, you're like, there's something here, some sort of spell, some sort of ability, something. But that's the most you can get if you don't want to touch it or use any spells. Is that going to be your turn? You still have your bonus action. You are muted, by the way.
I was muted because roommate in the background.
Yeah.
I'm just checking the cast time for Detect Magic. I'm fairly certain it's an action. Yeah. Both Identify and Detect Magic are an action, so...
And Ashley, you're up next.
I will hold off. Yeah, so I think I'm going to just hold off and hold my positioning until I hear any other distress.
You got it. Assi, you are currently on the stairs. A-Rod is right next to you. Cole has squeezed past you guys thanks to his smaller physicality, making it easy to maneuver these stairs.
Yeah. Okay, how is Jitch looking at the moment? Not good?
It looks like he's like starting to get his senses back. He's kind of shaking his head a little bit, but he still hasn't quite like righted himself.
Okay, how many daggers do I have? Yeah, okay, I've still got plenty of daggers. I've still got 5 daggers, nice. Okay, I'm going to slip one of my daggers out of pocket space. I'm going to use a bonus action to hide.
Okay. Roll a stealth check for me. Imagining.
Ooh, 18 plus 7. No, plus 5. Sleight of hand is 7.
Okay. So in the chaos of the kobold moving past you and Arod getting on the stairs as well, you kind of reach for your daggers and you kind of duck kind of behind them, lowering yourself into the shadowy part of this stairwell. What's the next move?
I'm gonna say, bag of pickling! Think about it! And then I'm gonna throw a dagger at him.
So that you pop up like a little weasel and you whip a dagger. You can make an attack roll.
Do I have advantage because hidden? And sneak attack?
I want to say no.
Oh, fuck.
If it hits, I'll give you the sneak attack, though, but, you know.
Okay, well, that is 17 to hit.
That will hit. So,
yeah!
And you can have sneak attack on this because you are hidden, even if technically he's not flanked or anything, but...
Beautiful. Okay, so that is a die for the dagger, and then sneak attack is 2d6.
Okay, and Cole, you're up next, right after Jitch and Arod, but they'll be really quick, so just be ready.
You two nice and pretty. Okay, ooh, that is really nice. That is a 4 on the default, and then 9 for my sneak attack, and then plus 3 for my dexterity.
So you're...
So 13, 14, 15, 16.
16 damage, right.
Yeah.
So you move towards the side of this little spiral staircase, and you pop up, and instead of aiming for the main eye, you aim for one of the eye stalks, because like I said, they're moving around wildly, and you whip this dagger, and it kind of just goes just between the eye and the eyelid, and Jitch it's not good. He's spasming, he's flicking it, but this dagger is staying in. You can just see it bobbing and the handle's like knocking against the stone, and there's this weird sort of tinking sound emanating from this room above you. I believe Chich goes next before Arod. He does. Cool. You wanted to be in front of everyone, I believe, correct?
Always am.
Well, in that case, can you make
I don't like that statement.
Can you make a con saving throw for me?
What statement do you not like?
By the way, you were in front of everyone, right? That's what you wanted to be? Anytime the DM is just like, are you sure? No.
So what did you
I
get?
was at the back.
Always put your best people in the front. 15 on the die for a total of 19.
19. Well, my friend, I should have rolled this earlier, but I'm a little slow. You understand, of course. Jesus, are you kidding me? Okay. So, this dagger flies past just over your head, gets stuck into this eye stalk as this thing is freaking out. But one of the other eye stalks manages to it stops its jerky movement just enough to focus towards you. And out comes this bright streak of dark crackling energy. You manage to get your shield up just in time, and you cut off part of it, but some of it still barely brushes your face, and you're going to take... You get half of this damage, so in total it'll only be 5 for you, of necrotic damage as part of your skin starts to blister, and you almost get you know when a lizard sheds its skin? You almost kind of get that thing blistering up around you. Behind you, in reaction to this, Arod quickly moves to the side and he lets loose with an arrow. He fails badly with a nat 1 followed by a 2. And he kind of sees this thing, and the part that you deflected with your shield moves towards him, and he quickly just throws himself to the other side of the staircase, breaking one of his arrows against the wall. Cole, it's your turn. followed by you, Shalashar, so be ready.
How high in the air is Jitch?
Not high at all, probably about 5 feet off the floor.
Okay, I can reach that then. I'm going to charge up and stab him with my spear. Shouting, "We're not here! You're just fighting your imagination!"
You see nothing.
Not good.
You pretend to cast phantasmal voice.
That is only a total of 15.
15? That
Yep.
will still hit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, spectators are not heavily armored. Imagine that. Crazy.
Dealing a whole 4 damage.
Alright. So you run towards this thing and you thrust up, but due to the fact that he's still spinning, he's still spasming. Your thrust is aimed for the body, but one of the eye stalks kind of gets in the way and it kind of deflects the blow a little bit, but the spear still scratches against this tentacle, and out comes this. It's not a gushing wound, it's nothing like that, but there's this little trickle of black blood that's just dripping out of this thing's eye stalk as it's still screaming and wiggling around all unnatural.
Ew.
Does that do it for your turn?
Yes.
Alright, Shalashar. You can hear the sound of, well, a lot of things happening. But what has your attention?
I don't hear anything immediate from upstairs. That's like I don't hear any of my compatriots screaming. So
you hear A-Rod go like, shit! You hear the sound of wood breaking.
I don't expect anything else, honestly. I'm going to, as the kids say, risk it for the biscuit.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Identify, and I'm going to touch whatever is invisible, like masked.
Would you like to describe this?
You-
How your casting of this works, or shall I take the wheel?
Got nothing right now. Nothing flavorful. So
Alright.
take it away, Coach.
What is your holy symbol?
My holy symbol is a inverted pyramid. That it's a black onyx inverted pyramid with a dagger sunk to the hilt.
Okay.
You sure it isn't gold with an eye on it there, Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh,
I'm not
Illuminati.
Pegasus.
Right. So,
Oh.
I'm assuming it's on a necklace around your neck. So you just kind of grip that, and underneath your breath, the incantation kind of flows into your mind, and you speak it. As you speak it, there's this cloud of black smoke that kind of like billows up around you, and it fills your mask, and it just kind of starts to come out of the openings for your mouth, the openings for your eyes, wherever it is, and soon your entire head is condensed into this black smoke, almost as if you can't see. But what you are actually doing in this moment, this fog is helping you, and you can see suddenly the arcane runes or the spells, the enchantments around this become very clear to you. You can make out that it's under the effect of invisibility, it's under the effect of a ward, and it's itself acts as some sort of ward, and it's binding something to this tower, whatever it is. But there's 3 spells on it. Its effect itself, an invisibility, and a ward.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna go out on the ledge and say it's probably the contract itself that's binding Jitch here. I'm curious what happens when we murder the poor boy.
But you got a bonus action, so you want to use it? What are you doing?
I'm gonna use my bonus action to withdraw my axe.
Okay.
And as I pull it out, the head rotates and snaps together and the blades pop out. And I'm going to take my movement back through the room and upstairs.
Okay.
To presumably just behind A-Rod. And
You could get
Try-
as close to like just behind where Cole was, if you wanted.
Yep. I'll think I'll do that. And
Alright.
I'll take up a defensive position.
Alright, so you move your way past Assi and Arod, and we get to Assi's turn as this large figure muscles his way past you, axe drawn. It's a very cramped sort of hallway, but you guys seem to be making it work. What would you like to do, Assi?
How bad is he looking at the moment? Like, is
The
this
man with the axe, he's
bloody?
pristine.
What?
The man with the axe, he's pristine. And Jitch is looking decent. He has a small little scratch on his tentacle. Looks like that dagger that's stuck in the eye stalk has kind of worked itself out just a little bit. He's nowhere near close to spent.
I think he might have a scratched cornea.
Yeah, so you scratched his cornea. It has a little sand in it.
I'm going to tell you guys. I'm gonna see if I can find out how he's bound, and I'm gonna bolt down the stairs and start just like looking around in a panic, like.
Make a perception check. This will take your action, by the way.
Well, I'm assuming I would see Salashar, right?
He's moved on the stairs past you. He's on the stairs currently. He's the man with the axe I was describing.
I'm upstairs with you in the room. I'm actually just by Core.
Yeah, just behind Cole.
Okay. I thought you were still downstairs, like investigating things. I don't think whatever is holding this tower in place is there. So I'm gonna start like looking around here. Can I make a counter check for anything that looks like a
Well,
power
first it needs to be a perception check to see if you find it. So that needs to happen first. There's a couple of layers.
Okay. So for me, this is actually good.
5.
I rolled an 18 minus 1, so 17.
17. So you can see the illusions. Definitely, it's weird because you have the sound of this battle going on, and you have like your own heart is like pounding in your head and pounding in your chest at this point, and just in the back you hear, "And then I said," and as you go, "No, that's not it." And you look at the people playing cards, and you can see that it turns out one of these skeletons is indeed cheating, and you can see an ace up its sleeve. But that's still not what you're looking for, and you keep scanning. And you can also see this weird, faint little rift at, like, the back of the room.
Okay.
So you can move towards that if you would like, but...
Can I walk past the skeleton that's cheating and then go for the rift?
Sure, you can walk past the skeleton.
I'm going to grab the ice out of its sleeve, slam
It's
it
an
down
illusion,
on the
yeah. Your hand goes through it.
My hand goes through the skeleton?
Yeah, it's an illusion.
Oh, right, it's an illusion.
Yeah, oops.
Well, I was gonna say, that's not very sportsmanlike of you. As I walk by, since I can't go off.
Damn it! I fell for it. Classic ruse.
A classic ruse.
Alright, you still have your bonus action.
I'm gonna reach into the rift.
You just wanna...
I put my hand in rift through space and time all the time, reaching and pulling
so
shit out.
You reach out and you grab this, and your hand hits something hard and smooth. It almost feels like you're touching a mirror. As you touch it, there's this little kind of flicker of energy, and you get the shape of this thing. It seems to be a floating crystal about 1 foot in height. And it's...
Can I pull it out?
You can't even wrap your hand around it.
Can I both hands in and pull it out?
You can grab it if you want, and you can try.
Yeah, I want to try.
Alright, so when you grab it, it's difficult to grab because it feels like it's like very faintly sort of spinning, and it's difficult to get a hold of because you can't really see it. But go ahead and make a strength check, shall we say.
Well, can I
Athletics.
try to like wiggle it out dexterously?
Unfortunately, acrobatics does not work for pulling on things, so it'll need to be athletics.
Ooh! 17, I do not have a minus to that one.
Alright, so you can move it, and it does kind of float with you, but there's some sort of gravity, and as you pull it, it wants to go back to where it was, but you are able to take it with you a little bit, but there's, like I said, some resistance. and that will be your turn.
Okay.
Alright?
I'm just chugging on this thing for
Meanwhile, upstairs, Jitch seems like he kind of like gets himself in order, and he like actually slams the tentacle with the dagger against the wall, and the dagger ting 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 falls out. And he kind of like rights himself, and one eye focuses towards you, Kor, and another one focuses towards you, Shalashar. I'm going to need a wisdom save from you, Shalashar, and I'm going to need a wisdom save from you, Kor.
Wisdom save?
Yes. That is what I said, my friend. Yes, yes.
Except you already managed to mispronounce my name.
Yes, writer.
5.
Yep.
And Shalashar?
13! No,
Th-
15.
15. Okay,
Not a high roller.
so, my friendly little kobold, you have your spear, and as this thing focuses with you, you make this mistake and you look directly at this eye stalk, and there's just this bright flash followed by another one, and it's almost like a rapid fire flash on a camera. It beams you.
Probing.
Yes, exactly. And you're going to be confused. So on your next turn, you won't be able to move, and you won't be able to make attacks unless it's against a random creature. And if not, then you will do nothing on your turn, as you're just like, you're seeing stars. You're so confused. Shalashar, you get this sensation to run, and you're like, I gotta get out of here. And then you go, no, I don't. This isn't real. This fear, it's not there. And you brush it off completely. And that will be its turn. And with that, we get to A-Rod, who is grabbing another arrow, and he is going to shoot at this thing. This time, he has a flank. So maybe he makes it with advantage. Maybe he manages. You guys don't ever want me to play your PCs. I roll 2 5s. As he pulls his arrow back, and he realizes that Shalashar is in his way. So he moves slightly to get behind you because you're big and you're wearing heavy armor, and he can't do anything, and he's having a bad day, and we get to Kor's turn.
So we're leaving it at that.
What would you like to do? Would you like to make an attack, and I will roll a 50-50 and see who it's against? Or what would you like to do?
I'd like to move a little bit if possible.
On its turn,
more-
the target can't move, and it uses its
can't move.
action to make a melee or spell attack. So you have to make an attack. So
Oh, okay.
I'm going to roll who it is. Shalashar, high or low?
Low. I'm feeling like bottom bitch right now.
Alright. What did you get for your attack
Okay.
there?
16.
16. Roll damage for me.
Another 4.
Another 4.
Let's
So-
get rid of that d6.
You're kind of stumbling, and you lash out, and it's actually towards Jitch. And it's the exact same thing. You thrust towards it, and Jitch is a little taken aback, but he manages to again swipe your attack to the side. But again, you draw blood. So he has a couple of little cuts on his poor little tentacles. And that will be your turn, unless you want to use your bonus action for something.
Jitch, we're not actually here. You're asleep. And that's my turn.
Roll a persuasion with disadvantage.
You just cut me. You're fucking here.
5 on the die, plus 6, 11.
11? Alright. Shalashar, your turn.
I'm going to reach up, and I'm going to look down, I'm going to briefly remove my mask. I'm going to stick my hand up, and it's going to come back with a very waxy black substance. I'm going to spin in a circle and combine it with the magic pouring out of my sleeves. I'm going to fling it at Jitch, and I'm going to cast Blindness Deafness.
No more fairies.
I want to make him blind.
Okay. Wisdom save, I believe.
Con save. And my DC is 13.
13. I love this.
I'm starting to think you don't love this.
Can you make a saving throw for me quickly?
What kind?
Wisdom.
It's 19 on the die, so I don't give a fuck what he
Alright.
says.
So as you do this, you whip the spell towards it, and it hits the creature, and it slides around its skin, and it comes out the other way, and the spell flies back towards you, as it reflects your own spell back towards you. And it hits your mask, and it has no effect.
Then I'm going to take my position. I'm going to count my losses. And I would like to basically come up, take a more defensive position in front, and kind of protect A-Rod at the back.
Okay.
Since Core looks a little off, I want to kind of take the heat.
Alright. And just so you're aware, because you have a bit of an arcane understanding, you understand that anytime this thing makes a successful spell save, there's a chance the spell's reflected back at any target that the spectator chooses.
Okay.
Which is a super cool ability, and I just thought I'd let you know how that worked. Anyways, as
And he thought just fucking with me.
Yeah.
we get to you, you can hear the sound of things going on, you can hear Cole screaming, you're just asleep! Meanwhile, you're holding this crystal, and this crystal is pulling back against you, as if it wants to go back to where it was.
Can I make an Arcana check to like try and see if I can puzzle out what this crystal might be? Like if it's as important as I think it might be?
I'm going to have you make it with disadvantage, because you're currently fighting against this thing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like pull it out and get a better look, see if I can like, what are you?
Tell me.
I'm actually going to demand that of the crystal. Like you hear like this strained panic. What are you?
Jesus.
Oh. That's not great.
Well, something dawns on you. It's
That's a 15. It would be a 15, but with disadvantage, I rolled a 9, plus my Arcana is 12.
12. Well,
Not that great.
whatever it is, it's clearly magical. You understand that it's invisible, and you can only see the outline as, like, wherever your hands are, it's pulsing, and it's sliding in your grip, and you're holding on to this thing.
Okay.
You can figure out that there's some sort of word on it, and that's what you're seeing. You're not actually seeing the object. You're holding it by the shield that's cast around it. So you know it's worded, whatever it is.
Okay. Oh, fuck. Is there any way I can think of to try and break the ward?
Do you tell me, is there?
Punch it really hard.
You're aware that some spells don't work if they're not on the same plane of existence.
Can I stuff it in my pocket dimension?
You can try, make an athletics check.
It's in my no,
Piccolo.
okay. Kaya, give me luck, sneeze on it. The healer has blessed it with a lick.
Okay. Nat 1.
Not one.
Nat 1.
Oh, 14.
14. Alright. So, as you're holding this thing, you're yelling, "Give me your secrets!" And it, like, pulls against you. And you pull it back towards you. But in that same action, you open up this dimension to your other zone, your happy little place. And in that instance, it vanishes from this plane of existence. A couple of things are going to happen in this very moment, as this thing no longer is here,
Kaboom!
Jitch suddenly starts to go transparent, and he goes, "I'm just a dream," and he's gone. The next thing that happens, you're the closest. You can hear the sound of a stone hit the ground, followed by another one, and then the entire tower starts to like tilt. All of you have one reaction, and we're going to do this by the order of initiative to figure out what you guys are doing. Assi, you actually get to go first still, followed by A-Rod, then Core, then Shalashar. So in one action, one movement, what are you doing? It's a reaction. As you feel this tower starting to tilt in the direction where half of the wall was missing on the 3rd floor.
Okay, so I'm gonna yell out, "Everybody bail! I took the power!" And I'm gonna make a break for the window.
So you just want to jump out the Neo's window?
I'm going to the window and I'm like hanging on.
You
like,
are on the
half
4th, on the... What floor is this? This is the one with all the weird things. I have it.
The 3rd.
This is the 4th floor. Because it's the one with all the
Oh,
illusions.
4th,
You guys are on the 5th. So, keep in mind that you guys are about... You're 40 feet off the floor here, basically. We'll say 35 feet off the floor. So it's a survivable jump if you wanted to. But
I'll probably,
you could...
if I'm that high up, I'll go down a floor and then get to the window.
Alright, so you just want to start
Like,
running.
I can, with a full ton of movement, I can technically move 90 feet.
Now, another thing that you do realize is if you go down, the tower is tilting that way. So, for all you know, it'll break cleanly by the 2nd floor. Because you'll have to go down too, because you have to get to the bedroom. So, but you want to start running down, yes?
Yeah.
Alright. A-Rod is doing the same thing. He is booking Cheek as quickly as he can. Cole, are you following suit or are you setting a different example?
If the tower is going this way, I want to run and jump through a window going that way.
Okay.
Effectively, I want to jump through the window and try to
Cowabunga.
slide down the tower as it falls.
Make an athletics check for me.
This is not going to go well.
This is radical, little bro. Radical.
Athletics. Oh, hey, I actually have something in athletics. Oh, hey, yeah, 14 plus 4, 18.
18. That is enough to break through the window. As you run towards this thing, you put your shield up, and there's a spray of glass as you exit through. Are you doing a running jump through this? Or are you just trying to get on top of the tower as it's falling? You're trying to get clear of it? What's your intention upon...
I want to try to, like, tower leaning. I want to, like, actually land on the tower and...
Alright, make an
Slide down a bit.
acrobatics check for me.
Yeah,
So we got the athletics to break through this window. Let's get the acrobatics.
Which is a plus nothing. Hey, still a 15 on the die, though.
15.
It's radical, little bro.
Alright, I want to get back to you, because this is going to be
Cowabunga.
cool. Let's see what Shalashar is doing.
How fast is it tilting? Like, is it like a sudden crashing, or is it like a...
Well, to break the surprise, there's going to be some rolls on the next turn as it's building up. This is the very first shudder, and right now it's slow, but it's picking up speed as gravity's
As
getting
it's-
more and more of a hold on this object.
I want to hold my bonus action to Misty Step. So I want, can I look around the room? Can I roll perception and kind of like inspect the area if there's anything I want to grab or I think is worth saving before we come crashing down?
If you want to spend time in this falling tower to take a look around, by all means. I won't even make you roll, but I will say it will take your action to do so.
Yep, that's fine. I mean, is as soon as I
So
am within range of my Misty Step, I just can Misty Step onto the ground outside.
you need to see where you're going with Misty Step, and you are aware of this. You will need to spot your landing somehow.
There are windows.
There are windows.
I'm expecting one more turn before it's a problem.
Alright, so you want to hold
Probably
your
need to roll
action for
Dex.
that. Alright.
I'm just gonna grab something loose on the anywhere near me, and I'm
Alright.
just gonna throw it through the window.
Well, let me explain. So you're here, you have your axe out, Jitch is disappearing, your kobold runs for the window, and in this moment, you carefully start putting your axe away, and you can see as everything's tilting, the table's coming towards you, and you take a step to the side and it hits the wall. You can see the shattered crystal has fallen off the pedestal, the two halves rolling on the ground. The other one in the airtight container also shatters onto the ground. And then the mirror, luckily, is on this side, and it's fashioned to the wall enough. But everything in this room is tilting and coming towards you. So you could grab one of the crystals. You could grab the crystal that was in the sealed case if you want
I'm
it.
gonna grab one of the chairs that was just sliding at me, and I'm just gonna heave it to the window.
So a different window or the broken window?
A different window, whatever way is
Alright,
leaning towards the
Make
ground.
an
if
attack
there's-
roll.
Just so
Don't
chill about the
don't
fact
add
that
your
you're in a crumbling
proficiency. Just
tower.
add. We'll say add your strength because this isn't exactly a dexterous throw. You're heaving a chair. So,
Absolutely, that's a 19.
a 19. Yeah, you do manage to shatter another window. Alright, that will be your turn for now. So we get to the top.
Can I
Everyone
use
in
my
this
movement-
tower, I need you to make a dex saving throw.
Can I have used my movement to move more central,
Yeah,
to a better position?
you bet.
24.
24. What
I
do you
am
get, Shalashar?
I want to talk about it.
Alright, so you move to the center, and then you realize you have nothing to hold on to. As the tower tilts faster, and suddenly you're just like 90 degree,
I rolled a 4.
and you fall, and you slam, and you're gonna take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you like get the air blasted out of you as you hit the stone. And now like the G-force is holding you down on this, but you can see the sky through the broken window of coal.
I want to break free.
Assy, you can see A-Rod, he kind of stumbles, but he's still going. And at this point you're running through the bedroom. Everything's tilting. Luckily, you're in the hallway during this fall, and you like put your hands against the stone, and you're kind of like, you're not running as much as you're crawling on all fours as quickly as you can.
While I'm moving, if I see anything shiny, I'm just flicking it into pocket space.
Okay. You are getting down to where the break is. Alright, so you're currently on the 3rd floor in the bedroom. You can stay here, or you can go down another floor.
I'm gonna go through here, and I'm just gonna start flicking shiny things into
Right.
pocket space.
The closest thing to you, the bed has slid, the paintings have slid. Let me go up here to Alright, there's a painting. There's 2 paintings. One seems to be a ladder filled with supplies. Another one is a throne. They have fallen off the wall, but you can see that. There is a pair of slippers, and there's some very nice pillows that are currently in grabbing reach if you want any of those.
All of it.
You can grab one. Pick it.
Oh. I'm gonna take the pillows.
Take the pillows. So you grab the pillows. And then
How many
you...
pillows is it? Like just a
2.
couple?
Just 2.
Two pillows?
Two-
What color are they?
You'll have to look at it later. You're doing this very quickly. There's dust coming up. It's chaos. You need to remember it is chaos. As you
If there's
grab these pillows. Are you staying on this floor and trying to exit through these windows, or are you continuing
No.
down?
It's only chaos. I'm making my way to the stairs, and I'm just gonna start going down because I don't want to be here when it falls.
Alright. The next
So
floor...
I'm going as far down the
Alright.
stairs as I can get.
So, these stairs, as you like go down them, they're no longer attached. You are now looking at like the rest of the town, and the building is starting to roll. So you can try to jump out of here, or you can stay in the tower. You're probably about 25 feet from the ground right now.
Okay, I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna try to land and roll with it, and then book it sideways away from where the tower's falling. Like, I'm not gonna be one of those dumb action
Acrobatics
movie
check
people
for
that
me,
run
please, and
down
thank
the
you.
length of the falling object.
Acrobatics?
Acrobatics! I got that! Ooh! 18 plus 5.
18 plus 5. Alright. Well, and A-Rod is doing something very similar. Alright, we're going to do all of you landing simultaneously. I'll let you know the outcome. But first we have Shalasar, who is still at the top of the tower. Probably 30 feet from the ground, pinned against the wall as G-Force is just having its way with him. What would you like to do as you look up and you can see the shadows and the light just spinning from this tower as it looks like it's taken on a slight twist as it's almost rolled off of this pedestal and turned 90 degrees towards the ground?
Is there anything shiny I can see? Basically, I know I'm kind of pinned to the ground because...
There's 2 crystals, 2
If
halves
it's-
of 1 crystal and another full crystal that looks like it's shattered. And there's broken glass everywhere. But luckily you're wearing scale armor, so you haven't been cut by the glass yet.
Can I grab the full crystal ball? Is it like...
It's not a crystal ball, it's an actual crystal.
Oh. How big is it?
This one, it looks to be decent size. It's probably, we'll say, like 2.5 pounds, and it probably is about about 9 inches. It's a decent sized crystal.
Okay. If I need to roll strength to kind of get up, and I will definitely like to try and grab that and throw it in my bag.
Everything that is not nailed down is where you are, because you're also pinned against the
right
tower's
back.
falling. Everything's with you, so you don't need to crawl. It's there. It's next to you.
Yep. I'll reach out my hand and I'll kind of grab my bag on my back and I'll just kind of throw it in.
Okay.
And I would like to get to. So I'm basically at the point. I need to just turn around to see where we're falling. Correct?
Yes, you could turn your head if you wanted to.
Yeah, so I'll basically just throw it in my bag as like an action, and then I'm just going to wait until I'm within reasonable distance, and I'm just going to Misty Step to the ground.
Okay.
So I'm just going to look out the window and
Be
maintain sight line.
aware that if you are in a tower looking at the ground, you're looking at where the tower is going to land.
I can teleport within 30 feet, so I
Alright,
can see basically just before I hit the ground.
okay. We'll make it a roll.
Right.
So go ahead and roll.
Percentile? D20?
I'll tell you what. High or low?
D4? Low. Fuck it. What are my chances of dying? High. So I'm feeling...
Alright. So all of this is going to resolve all at once. Cole, we're going to start with you, as you were the one that made the quickest exit. As you put your shield up, you run through this glass window, and you come tumbling out onto the stone, and you kind of ride it down. The last moment, jumping off and rolling. You get the clearest view of this thing as you watch as it smashes 3 nearby houses, the stones flying everywhere and demolishing some of the structures in this town. Looking to the side, you can see Assie and A-Rod, both of them very lithe, very agile, as they come jumping out of the bottom of this tower and they roll clear. Lastly, he's the hardest to spot as he actually ends up the farthest away and somehow he appears almost in the center of town, holding his bag. And when he appears, though, he's like face down in the ground, and he like pushes himself up quickly. He has a little mud because it's been raining the last few days, covering his faceplate. But no one seems to notice except you, as everyone is too busy watching this tower just slam into these buildings.
I open my mouth to say a smart ass remark, and then just close my mouth. Just go.
Not even worth it.
At this point, you guys kind of realize what just happened, as like doors start opening, people start coming out. They're all looking at like this, whatever this was. The tower's gone. There's literally one story left and a couple of little bricks here and there, and the rest of it is just smeared across town. People are running out of the buildings. What are you guys doing in this moment? Let's just get a quick,
I'm
What's
gonna
going through your heads?
turn to A-Rod and Cole, and I'm gonna be like, well, it's a damn good thing most of the houses in this town are empty.
That was,
And there's a
Close?
rock in there we really need to find and get out of here ASAP. So, you guys want to help me look through the rubble for that crystal that was in the stone, in the glass box? It's poisonous, okay? If we leave it here, it's gonna start poisoning the ale.
Which reminds me, I need you to make a con saving throw for me, Shalashai.
So that's what I grabbed. I'm like, oh, fuck it.
I work with metals, I know these things.
Thing I have proficiency, so that is a 22.
22. Okay. Fair enough. Thank you. That's all I need to know.
Am I gonna get
I'll let you know.
some? Okay.
So, as you guys are looking at this, Ashley's saying, we gotta find this crystal. Cole, what are you doing?
it'd be broken? If it was in there?
I don't know, but that's why we need to find it, and I need to get it out of here ASAP. I can throw it into pocket space for a bit and run it out of here, but we need to get it out of here before people start getting sick and dying. I
Okay.
have no idea how long whatever is in that has been building up in that glass.
I guess I'll make a guess at where the top crashed into and start looking among the rubble.
Alright. And Shalashar, what are you doing? You can make a perception
gonna help
check.
them
Same
look.
with you, Assy. Or one of you can roll with advantage. And Shalashar, what are you doing?
I want to go where the tower fell. I already wanted to go kind of like inspect what, make sure that no one was injured in or around the crash, or kind of go through the rubble and kind of inspect everything,
Alright.
as long as no one's hurt.
You can also make a perception check for me.
I'm just gonna help Cole.
Alright.
Cole?
Cole, you
Yeah.
can roll with advantage then.
24.
17.
Kaya, what are you doing? Alright, well, you guys start moving towards this tower, and you guys can see rubble everywhere, but the most glaring thing that grabs your attention is a booming dwarven voice as Bismuth comes marching towards you guys, crossbow in hand, and he's like, What are you doing to me, town? And he's like beelining towards you guys as like a crowd is starting to gather on these crushed buildings.
I'm gonna hold up both my hands. Stay back.
He's going to look at you. He looks taken aback, and he raises his crossbow.
Dangerous materials in here. We are going to find it and take it out into the forest. I can handle it safely for a brief time, but the rest of you have to stay back until I find that crystal and get it out of here. Or else you will be poisoned just standing near it.
Roll perception with... persuasion with disadvantage.
Oh,
What are you-
that hurts. I have a 20.
And?
And with my persuasion, I have an 11.
An 11.
'Cause I have... I have fucking 7 plus 4.
Right. Is anyone else saying or doing anything in this
I had
moment?
20.
As Bismuth is moving towards you guys, and like I said, the first thing, as you said, was stay back, and he's raised his crossbow, and there's quite a few of his cultish members, shall we say. There's quite a few people wearing the same oil skin, and they've kind of like moved around you guys.
What is the common name of that particular material that I recognized?
Brightstone.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell them there is Brightstone here.
Anyone else doing anything, or shall I just jump in here with acid?
How far am I away? Because I'd be closer to the middle of town, so
Yeah,
how far am I?
We can
Like,
put you anywhere from 10 to 20 feet from the tower, but you said you want to start moving towards it.
Yeah.
So I'll say you're 10 feet from the building, shall we say.
Okay. As he comes out and he starts yelling about his wee men and his tower, I'm gonna kind of put up my... I know what I said. I'll kind of put up my hands and like... Not the most ideal situation, but we got rid of it. We got rid of the spectator. Tower collapsed as well.
And I'm moving rubble around, and I look back at Assy, and I'm like, sure, dangerous materials, and you send in the kobold. Fine, that's okay. That's okay, I'll do it.
Well, then you keep people back and I'll search. And
I'm already searching. No, it's okay.
I'll kind of chime in. What are you searching for?
the Brightstone, we need to get it out of here now, before people start getting sick.
The hell is Brightstone?
The crystal that was under the glass case. It is poisonous to be in its proximity.
This?
I run towards you and I smack it into my pocket space.
Just smack it out of my hand. It's a villager.
No, right into pocket space.
Alright.
Like, absolutely horrified that you were touching it.
Alright. By the way, Cole, you find the one half of the other crystal as well. The ruined vessel, whatever it was. You find one half of that.
I pick that up. Hey, what about this?
Don't care!
Don't care?
Pass it to me.
Let me go with my back while I run this out of here.
I don't know anything about it, so...
I literally saw nobody that whole round.
You yell about the stone is dangerous and you smack it out of my hand.
Yeah, it's called a Brightstone. It's
Oh.
poisonous.
Oh, no.
Proximity to it will start to cause...
I'm not from here. I'm the dirty foreigner your parents told you to worry about.
I got your
So-
back. I'll follow Asky and just start pushing her out.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've got this.
Oddly enough,
care of the
Bismuth's
dwarf.
men, they don't seem like they have any intention of stopping you. They're kind of like actually moving away from you guys as you guys are going. Couple of people are close to Bismuth, and he's gone to like a bit of a whispered conversation, but he's no longer being aggressive towards you guys. And he's kind of like, he's still has his crossbow, but he has lowered it slightly.
I'm
As-
going to start jogging, and I'm going to jog this thing like 3 to 4 hours out of town.
Oh, we're going for a hike then. Okay.
As
Oh, we are
As-
not leaving this anywhere close to there.
as the group, like, at the kobold's behest, can like take care of the dwarf, I'm gonna kind of put myself into a more open posture. It's like, is anybody hurt? Does anybody need healing? If there's anything I can do, we are unfortunately responsible for the tower, but I'd like to make it up to you. If your homes were damaged, I can help repair them. I can help settle.
Okay. There's one person that was in one of the houses that's like, they've been brought out, and they look like they're alive, but they're like covered in dust, their house is destroyed, and they're like bleeding from their head.
Okay.
And they look very confused, and they're like looking around, eyes very wide, as they're just kind of like stumbling and coughing.
How bad do they look, like, out of 10?
10 being good or 10 being bad?
10 is, like, good, 1 is death's door.
Say like a 4.
So not great, but
4 or
not terrible.
5.
Okay. I am going to use my trait. I'm going to invert my healing and damage. I'm going to grab the side of their head with both my hands. I'm
And
just going to
rip it
cup it.
off.
Inflict healing.
Inflict healing. Alright.
I think that might be a little OP.
That's 24. So I'm going to
How
grab him by
level
the
did you
head.
cast this at?
That's just inflict wounds. That's a first level spell.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
3d10s.
Good to know. Good to know.
That's what I'm saying. Inflict healing might be a little OP.
And how many times can you... I want to make a note of this. Again, sorry guys, this is a class
I
I
have-
hate, so I gotta...
I have 4 first level spells. I got all day.
Oh. But I mean, like, how many times can you invert healing?
I believe it's equivalent to my proficiency. I don't remember offhand. It's a class he made, so I decided to be the guinea pig and...
Yeah. So we gotta look at this very quickly, just so...
Actually,
we
does...
can talk about it after. We'll put a pin in it, and we'll come back. Alright, so you grab his head, and you can actually feel underneath your head as, like, you feel part of his skull, like, slide back into place underneath your little gauntlets, and it's creepy, and there's a very large cracking sound, and suddenly he just seems clear, you know, the fog from his eyes kind of goes away, and, you know, whatever forces acted upon his head have been...
His skull kind of squelches back into place with a clicking, a stuttering, and a...
Yeah.
Found it. It's your channel divinity.
Yeah. Which, I don't believe it says anything...
I mean, you can only channel divinity so many times. It's not
Yeah.
spammable.
Yeah, it just doesn't say, there's no refresh.
I
where-
know. We'll look at it after this, and we'll get to the bottom of it. But let's continue for now. All right. Meanwhile, so Assy and Cole, you guys are just taking off. A-Rod has, like, he's slunk away. Wherever it is he's going, he's probably Assy. You probably saw him, and he signed to you that he's gonna go check on the others. Is like the hand signals he sent you before he kind of like vanished from the group. So
He's gonna help smooth things over a bit.
he's probably gonna go see Nikolai, and then was his intentions, we'll say.
Okay.
Alright, so then you're going for this jog, so it's just Shalashar then. As you do this, Bismuth is still looking you over, and then he just kind of like talks to a couple more people, looks at you, they just kind of leave. They just move back towards their place, and you're just left alone by this destroyed tower. And there's a couple of people, some of the kids are yelling at you. They're like, what did you do? What happened? And parents are yelling, don't go by that rubble, it's still dangerous. But yeah.
As soon as it's all kind of like free and clear, so to speak, I would like to take a look through the rubble. Like, there was bookcases, there was a lot of potential knowledge saved there. So I'm assuming when the tower fell, the magic was deactivated, so there's going to be books, a plethora of books from the bookcases, unless they were magical in nature. So I kind of want to scavenge through the remains of the tower while they're going to be out and about. See if there's anything that we can learn, anything that, any resources.
Okay. Looking over these, it's easy enough to find out where the bookcases are, as they actually would be one of the sturdiest things there. So some of them, well, not sturdiest, some of the larger objects, so they're easy to locate. But a bunch of them are like cracked. There's books spilt all over the place. Are you just grabbing books in general? Do you want to know the idea of the kind of books there was?
Anything that would be interesting that I think would give information and resources. Like if there was a spell book, I would absolutely take a spell book. But if there was things about Brightstone, because I
Looking
don't
over,
personally
there's a
know.
bunch of history books. There's books about Cha. There's books about Sigwolf. There's quite a few books written in Elven. There's an extensive Dwarven section of the library. There's a Draconic section. And yeah, that's what it seems to be. There's a bunch of history books, and they're written in up to 3 different languages: Elven, Dwarven, and Draconic.
I will take all of the history books in any language. Then I will
That's
take...
58 books just in Elvish. So when you say take
Oh.
all of them, this was a wizard's tower. This isn't...
No.
I collect! He had bookcases, 7 of them, filled.
I'm strong. I don't need...
I'll say you can start organizing them into piles.
I definitely want to take the ones that look the oldest, like the ones that look like they've seen the
They all
most...
look old. All of them are covered in dust. You'll need to stop and read. It'll take you a while if you want.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah.
And you said you were interested in the ones written in Elvish, right?
Elvish, Dwarven, Draconic, anything that looks of interest.
Well, what looks of interest to you?
I would definitely like anything on Brightstone, because I'm not from here. It seems to be fairly important.
Okay.
Sigwolf would be interesting. So basically anything regarding any of the continents, because I am an archaeologist, I would like to know things.
Okay.
And then
What was that worth?
just prioritize the most ancient-looking books, the ones that look like they've seen the most amount of time.
Alright, roll an investigation for me.
I can actually do that, because investigation, I'm trained. That is +3, so 19.
19. So you were going to find 190 books, because we're going to times it by 10.
Wow.
So you can tell me, so you said you wanted Brightstone. We're going to say there'll be 3 different ones. One will be about the actual spells that go into Brightstone. One will be about the mining of Brightstone. Another one will be about Brightstone and the histories it has had. Do you want all 3 of those?
Yes.
Alright, 3 books on
Okay.
Brightstone. We have how it's mined. It's
And
uses.
if you can just into the Discord,
This is
I
all
will
going
cop-
into the game chat.
Yeah, beautiful. So then I can copy it later.
It's just
Impact on.
That is a lot.
Alright, what other books did you have an interest in? You said you were also interested in Sigwolf.
Sigwolf, Yun, Char,
Alright,
Manor,
there are no
anything-
books on Yun, oddly enough, none of those. But there is some on
Yep.
Sigwolf. The ones on Sigwolf, you can find a history on it, you can find one about trolls, you can find one about the witches of Sigwolf, you can find one about the various tribes of Sigwolf, you can find a history of the Jarls on Sigwolf. I have things for all of this, by the way, so I'm
I
going to keep naming you, tell me
think-
what you're interested in.
Well, probably the flora and the fauna. I don't so much care about the culture.
He doesn't have a
unless-
flora or fauna. His interest was specifically the people of Sigwolf.
You said trolls. Aren't trolls
They're
fauna?
still people. No. In
Oh,
Sigwolf, the trolls are
they're
very different.
racist.
There's a book on this. But the trolls of Sigwolf are considered highly intelligent.
Gross. I think then I'll take the not fauna. Fuck, you just said this. I'll take the witches. I don't really care about the Jarls or the culture.
Okay.
Anything that could possibly fuck with me or that could be a good reference point.
Okay. And then any other sort of books in Char. There's ones, again, it's mostly focused on the people, the history, the events. And there's also a large section, even though it's relatively new, based on Fingolm, what's been going on there, as well as a rumor/mystery book. But that one's more based from Sigwolf, based on the title.
I'll take the Fingolm and the Mysteries of Sigwolf.
Alright, so mysteries. It's called Mists and Myth. Alright, the Fingolm one. There's several. There's one that talks about the ties to the fire plane. There's one that talks about what it was like. There's one that's focused on the treaty. There's one that's focused on the selling of the treaties. There's one that's here about the deeds. And there's another one that talks about the effects of the Afridi and the use of gunpowder. And then another one that's a journal written by the people of Powder Town.
Powder Town,
Okay.
gunpowder and its functions, the treaty.
It's not about the uses of it. It's about the impact of it and where it comes from.
Definitely.
Alright.
Because I'm assuming gunpowder is fairly unheard of in like day-to-day talk. It's not
Make
something
a history
very.
check for me.
That's a 11. Nope, I have proficiency in it, so that's a 13.
13. To your understanding, the way that it's happening is Fingolm is an island that's been taken over twice, sold twice, given its freedom, but is currently trying to be inhabited by Char, even though they have a deed, but the deed wasn't supposed to exist. And due to this, there's been a lot of friction, and to your understanding, the gunpowder is made by harvesting the fire elementals that the Afridi bring. That's really all you know. Something happened, there's a lot of really aggressive things, and Powder Town is supposed to be this outpost that just fights fire elementals and Ifrit. And there's like a big civil war that may or may not be happening. You know, you didn't pay that much attention.
So you're telling me that Powder Town is a literal powder keg?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. They get some materials from these things, and that's your general understanding.
And I will take something based on the fire plane so I can get a better understanding of Fingolm and how it corresponds.
Alright, so you took 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 different books, and you have them. There's still quite a few books scattered around. A bunch of them are copies. Some of them are empty. A bunch of them are just there for paper. But there's your list. If you want the actual titles, I can get those for you as well, and I will gladly write those out for you.
Yeah, we can do that one after. Otherwise, I'm just gonna scavenge around.
This'll take a bunch of your time for the most part, we'll say, because you have to find the books, and you have to get them out, and you have to read the titles, so this is going to be your life now, for at least an hour or two.
Yep, that's fine.
Alright.
There's nothing else that I need help with.
Pull. Anything I need to know about your little jog party, or?
While we're going, I'm going to pull those gloves out of pocket space. And I would like to start investigating them.
Okay.
You're investigating while you run?
I personally think they might be magical, so my character is going to look over them, try and see if they are magical, and if they are, see if they're attunable. So essentially, while we're on this jog, I'm twirling these over in my hands, trying to figure out what the fuck they are.
I'm keeping an eye out for danger.
And if they're doing and if they can do what I think they might be able to do.
Jazz hands.
Okay.
And
I'm real glad you came with me. Because you seem to notice things way better than I do, Cole.
But it's kind of strange because I'm usually pretty oblivious.
Well, I don't know. I think you're pretty smart. I know that, I read a lot, okay? And I'm not exactly what most people would consider street smart, as A-Rod has pointed out to me in the past. You seem a lot more street smart than I feel.
I think I'm more lucky than anything.
Nothing wrong with being lucky.
I mean, I actually did make it pretty far, just getting to that town all by myself.
I mean, can be impressive depending on how far you came.
It was a hike. That's all I can really say. It was a hike.
Fair enough.
But I had to do it, so it had to be done.
Why did you have to do it?
The matron of the clan told me that I was voluntold to go seek out an extra spot for the clan to split up.
Is that something you even want to do?
Well, according to her, being voluntold was a great honor, so... Yeah, actually, I kind of wanted to go anyway.
Why? Is it because there was no other cool
Sure, I
couples
didn't
to hang out with?
They were kind of... I think they were getting kind of uncomfortable with me around. Those things weren't really going well. So it was probably for the best.
Well, I'm not uncomfortable with you. And I
Thank you.
nudge you gently with my with my elbow because you're kind of short.
You actually hit me in the head then.
No, I'm trying. I'm trying not to, cause I'm not exactly tall either. I'm only 5 feet.
Yeah.
So
I keep on imagining you taller than that.
What?
I keep imagining you taller than that.
No, my character is 5 feet tall. She just wears high-heeled boots to make herself look taller. But it's only a bit. I am I'm 4'8" and I wear boots that make me look 5 feet tall.
Gotcha.
So I nudge you in the shoulder with my elbow. I think you're cool. I like having you around.
Actually, I'm kind of hot. I'm not really cold-blooded, you know.
Yeah, you are.
It's an expression. It means you're
Oh.
awesome.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the whole expression idiom thing, I don't really get it.
That's okay. If you don't get it, I'll just explain it to you.
You'll know when I look confused, which is often.
And then I'll explain it to you. So, don't worry about it.
What's up with those gloves, anyway?
I'm not totally sure. Have I managed to figure anything out about them?
So, you pull out these gloves, and they seem to be leather, but they're very, very thick. They're almost padded along the back, and then they're also padded along the first set of knuckles, and there's several holes in them.
Okay.
When you smell them, there's a very strong scent of sulfur, but you're unable to activate them, and you probably will need to attune to them if you want to figure out what they do.
They are roughly made of gloves.
Yes, they are leather gloves, big holes along the knuckles, and it only is on the first section, and they smell strongly of sulfur.
They smell like farts.
I'm gonna try to attune to these as we're on this adventure together.
Okay. You got it. So, we'll say you guys probably slow down a little bit to do that. And how do you want to dispose of this glowstone? Well, deal with the idea of getting rid of it. By the way, which way did you leave from town? Were you heading towards Thorn first? Were you going back the way you came towards the other caps? Did you pick a random direction? Which way
I'm
we
gonna
headed?
head in the direction that the creatures were coming from.
So you want to head into...
Yeah.
Okay. What does that mean, Cole? You're going with them.
Nothing.
You can say something if you want.
Not sure if that's the best
My
idea, but...
concern is maybe
The ball worthless.
the Brightstone has been calling those things.
Oh. Okay. Alright, I guess that makes sense.
Well,
Yeah, I
it's
didn't think of that.
a quick little trip out of this town to get into the forest. How deep do you want to go in? I'll give you a description. You can tell me how far you want to go as you take this path out. And it's a nice little path. It slopes. It goes into a single switchback to make climbing this hill easier. As you get closer, you can see that the trees here are also heavily affected by Brightstone. Thorn Forest, roll history for me.
That is a 15. Not great, but not bad.
Alright. Being a dwarf, and your time spent with the elves, you've looked into this a little bit. You understand as much as you cared to when you got started, which was to say you got into the briefest of histories to try to understand your people and their place. Thorn Forest is one of these strongholds. This, to the elves, was considered half of the continent, and they said, we get everything to the south. Thorn Forest is known to be one of the densest forests on Char. It is home of the Thorn Guard, and there are several keeps built within this forest. Some are said to be haunted now, some are said to still be manned to this day. If you were to keep going west across this continent, you would find more strongholds that are still held. But over time, as the humans have come, Thorn Forest has fallen into a bit of disrepair, but it was still a very important strategic place. That being said, the trees of this forest, and the reason it is called Thorn Forest, is because all of these trees are heavily barbed. Some of these barbs and some of these brambles have inch-long to 1 foot long metal spikes growing out of them that have been shaped by the elves. This forest is meant to be impassable in any large numbers. And getting into this, you can see that. The sun is starting to fade as the foliage takes over, but it's still beautiful. There's still dancing lights. Things are reflective in this forest. You can hear wildlife. You can see all sorts of different things, but also you can hear so much. There's the sound of animals in the distance. There's the sound of so many things. It almost echoes in here. Sound bounces around among these metal trees.
Yeah.
That being said, how do you want to move through this? There is a well-defined path, and the trees that line this path actually have been shaped in such a way that it's almost like an archway. A steel archway along this path.
I want to go a bit in. I want to get off of the trail at some point and look for a tree that looks like it has a hollow to it, or like some sort of like abandoned den at the base. I'm essentially looking for a hole in the ground that I can bury this rock in. And as we're going, I've probably put on the gloves by now while I'm attempting to attune to them. I'm gonna run my hands along one of the spikes. Isn't it beautiful what people create?
Did people create this?
Yeah.
The tree?
It's been shaped magically, meant to protect Thorn Forest and the people that live within it from invasion.
How?
Don't know. I'm not elven enough to get into that information. But I do know some histories of my lineage.
I mean, yeah, the forest is pretty. It's a lot different than underground, but how? I just don't see how. Well, how they could do it.
The trees here are odd. Some of them actually soak up the minerals from the ground, iron and such. And people with the right kind of magic, and as I'm speaking, I'm like running one hand from like the trunk up along it, over a spike and out. They draw the metal back out.
A tree is not art. Art is scratching pictures on a rock wall. That's what art is.
I think any sort of creation can be art.
Alright. So as you're having this thought and you're chasing these things, you're holding these gloves and you slide them on. These are called powder gloves. They are coated with a volatile explosive powder from Fingolm. These gloves have 5 charges. When a creature wearing these makes an unarmed attack, they can expend one of these charges to deal an extra 1d4 fire damage. These gloves will gain all expended charges daily at dawn.
Wow.
That does not sound like a good thing.
So that's what the holes are. They will exude this fire, this powder, and when you punch something, it'll ignite.
Can I get a write-up of those?
You
later
can.
on?
It'll be in the game chat. I'm just quickly
Yeah.
finding the last few names of these history books. That being
Yeah,
said, you are looking for a place. Do you still want to go deep into this place or not really?
I want to go into the forest. I don't want to leave this near the road where people would pass by it.
So you want
She did
to
say like 3-4 hours out.
veer off into
Yeah.
the woods. I need both of you to make survival checks for me, and we'll see how far you get.
Can I just give him advantage?
No. No. You're both going. You both need to roll.
That's 3. -1.
10?
At least it's not a 1.
10.
You've never seen a
That's
tree
what I
before in
say.
your life.
And what did you get, Assy?
3 -1, so 2.
Okay. As you leave, you guys very quickly realize why Thornforce is named Thornforce, and Cole, you're so lucky. You were curious, how would this stop invaders? And you're figuring it out.
No.
As you guys are going, Assy, you are going to suffer after 2 hours of walking. You eventually stop. You think you're far enough. You have taken 12 points of slashing damage, and you are bleeding from several places. Your clothes are cut to ribbons, and you didn't even realize it until pretty much now.
I would have stopped after I took 8 points of damage
8 points. Didn't you-
because that would put me at 10. I cannot take that much damage.
Okay, so you would have stopped. So as you start going, you get a couple cuts, and then eventually you like drag your forearm against something, and you like rip deep, and you'll have 8 points in total. You've only been off the road now for about 30 minutes. Cole, however, you've only
Wait,
taken 6 points.
How does 12 points of damage in 2 hours go from 8 points of damage?
Would you like it to be
Good.
1? I can put it at 1. I was just picking a number.
Yeah, I would prefer it at 1
Okay.
because
Yeah.
like that's a big jump.
Because my point is, it's just random, kind of like how you're
Okay,
taking this
okay,
damage,
okay.
right? It's not a set amount. So Cole,
Um,
you'll only take 4 points, we'll say. They're going to take 8, and you guys have been off the road for about an hour.
I'm holding now this profusely bleeding forearm. I think this is good enough.
Okay. Give me a minute. I'll look around for like. Should we dig a hole or find a? What do you want to do with this thing?
I think we should try to bury it.
Okay.
It's not something that I want to let people find easily.
It's a radioactive isotope.
Are there any? This is probably going to be a no, considering what these trees are made out of. Are there any fallen trees or logs around?
There's some. There's always deadfall in a forest, right? It's not pristine, but if you're going to try to burn it, only parts of this wood will burn, parts of it will glow.
No, I'm not going to burn it.
You just
I'm
want
going
to
to go
find...
over to it. Yeah, I'm going to go over to a deadfall and start digging a hole, like kind of at an angle underneath it.
Okay. That's doable.
I'm gonna help as best I can with one hand because the other
No,
arm is like ripped open.
No, you just like bind that up and rest. I got this.
feel bad having you do all the work.
Well, I'm just a bit tougher. It's okay. Rest.
Okay, I'm gonna sit down, like the little princess I am, and just start bandaging myself up a bit.
Okay. And you start digging this hole, and eventually, it takes a little bit of time, but you do get it. You run into some roots, but these roots, it's weird. They don't snap, but you're able to, like, malleably push and bend them like they're a wire. As you,
Like bundles of aluminum?
Yeah, as you, like, move these out of the way. And eventually, you do have your little hole made.
Okay, once the hole is made, I'm gonna tell you, you should move back. I have at least some resilience to poisoning, so I'll bury this.
I will probably be fine, but I move back 5 feet.
Also, in the game chat, I have your powder gloves, and I have the
Yeah.
title of all of your books. In case you care. Fantastic, fantastic. I love it.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
For the back, like 30 feet.
I move back 10 feet.
Well, since that seems to be about as far as he's willing to move, I will quickly pull the Brightstone out of my pocket dimension, throw it in the ground, and like stuff it even deeper in there, and then just start like mad dash burying it as quickly as I can, and then like hurrying over to him and okay, let's go.
Can I get some survival checks from you guys one more time?
Much better this time, 8.
8?
And I have Dwarven resistance, so I have advantage against poison and resistance to poison damage. So if the
And Cole?
Brightstone gives off poison damage,
9.
9? You're both just going to take 5 points of slashing or piercing damage as you make your way back to the path out of Thorn Forest.
okay. So I'm down to 5 hit points.
At this point, the sun is starting to go down, and we'll just kind of, unless you guys want to have another moment on the road, we're going to fast forward you guys back to being in Stone Bluff.
Out of character talk real quick. I've got a little bit of healing. Do you want 5 points of healing, or do you want me to, like, cure poison and disease just to be safe on you?
I think I'm fine on that side. I would like some more hit points because I'm at 5 out of
Well, now you have 10.
some.
I smack you with my tail and do a lay on tail.
Lay on
Actually-
tail. Thank you.
From the
Thank you.
All
moment
that I've got.
that you guys make it back to the path, can I get perception checks from both of you? That's like I said, the sun is now starting to get a little down. It's getting a little dusky, you know.
6.
6.
Try the green dice.
They're too busy, like, God, my clothes. I just got these fixed. God, I hate metal trees. And these elves, they suck.
Out of curiosity, because world
You know what?
building.
This one that's been fucking me this whole time, he's going in dice jail.
Do the trees ever get super hot? Like if you leave something out in the sun, like would it scold you if you were to touch them, or are they?
Do you want to roll this as this, like, in-game, or do you want me to just tell you how this would work?
I'm just curious in out of character because I'm not there to experience it.
Out of character, wildfires in Shar are not good. And that's, I believe, all I need to say. It's not good. It's terrible, one might even say. What did you get for your perception check there, Cole?
17.
17. As
I'm so
Assy
glad you
is
came.
lamenting their foray into the woods, you are looking around a bit more. You're paying a little bit more attention, and you can pick up on a couple of things off in the distance. Again, nothing you see, just things you can hear. As I said, things kind of echo. You can hear the same wildlife, you can hear the sounds of things howling off in the distance, But there's also this weird singing, and it's very faint, and it's almost haunting, and it's coming from someplace deeper in but to the south. And as you look that way, you can see, you swear you can see it, the very top of what's maybe a stone wall, probably about 30 minutes off the path if you were to go another, if you were to go another hour in, and then you were to go, like, towards the shore, you could probably find this little castle, and you can hear something singing from there.
Do you hear that, Assie?
No. Do I hear it after he points it out?
Now roll again.
We're picking up singing.
Do I
That
have
direction.
advantage this time because he pointed it out?
Nope. By the way, what languages do you speak?
Me?
Cool.
14 this time.
14.
Obviously common, because everyone does.
Yeah.
Celestial,
Okay.
deep speech, and abyssal.
In a language you don't know.
Do I hear it with a 14? And it having
You
been
can
pointed
hear
out?
it, but you can't make out the words.
Does it sound anything like Elvish, Dwarvish, or Primordial?
Sure doesn't.
I don't like
Actually-
the sound of that. And I'm gonna take your hand. Head back.
Let me check something. It might be one of those languages. I'm just double checking so I don't shoot myself in the foot. This is something you can do as a dungeon master. You're allowed to pause the game and double check stuff. Sue
No,
me.
you're not. Don't lie.
Sue me.
Okay.
Don't actually sue me. I'm broke.
Do.
We're almost there. I'm still flipping. There's so many pages in this book.
Just write less.
Ah! I didn't do this. This wasn't me. We're almost there. Keep holding on.
Don't lie to me.
Keep holding on.
Rolled a 1, I let go. I didn't have enough strength to hold on.
Damn
Sorry,
it.
couldn't do it.
I'll hold up your worries.
It is in Abyssal.
Yeah, I don't know Abyssal.
It is in Abyssal.
Why isn't anything in Primordial?
I don't know. Ask your dad. So, the words you pick out, my friend, it is a very sad song that you can hear. But it's still sang in a very nice voice. It's lovely. It's... I wouldn't say moving. But the song is about the flight of dragons. And it talks about dealing with them and then failing and losing your home and losing your purpose.
Wow, that is real sad. Why would you do that?
Oh, I need to check this out.
But it's
No.
a ways
I
away.
tell Lassie what the song is about.
Dude, like, look at me. I am still
Bleeding.
actively bleeding.
Can we come back later at least?
Sure. When we get the chance, we'll come back here and listen to this creepy song. But for now,
It's not creepy, it's like sad and
it's kind of
kind of
creepy.
beautiful.
It's kind of creepy.
Oh, I really want to check it out.
Later, okay?
Alright.
Please.
I'll bow to your greater wisdom. How about that?
I don't even think it's greater wisdom. I think it's just I am tired
Paranoia.
and actively bleeding.
And with that, you guys head back to town.
Yeah.
Where you find Shalashar, like a little book dragon, and has several little stacks here and there as you guys approach. It looks like people have gone back. Some people are like trying to like clear off some of the nearby buildings. Nothing big is going to be accomplished today. This is a large undertaking trying to excavate these structures from tons of stone. But with that, you guys can approach this however you want. Like I said, you see Shalashar Middle of the town, A-Rod nowhere to be seen, Bismuth nowhere to be seen. Just a couple of townsfolk. Looks like they're trying to work, and a book dragon.
I'm smog, but for books.
I would like to look around and see if I can find any books on. Actually, I'm gonna go up to you. You find anything about ritual magic?
Well, God in the sky.
One last thing. I need you to roll a D high or low quickly for you, just because.
For me?
Yes.
Me?
No, for Shalashal.
I'm big and strong. Let's go high.
While you were looking, you found something, and it is a shard of the mirror. And when you look at it, you get a feeling that if you want to engage with this, the magic is fleeting. But you know that if you want, you could engage with this, and you might be able to glean something, but at a cost.
Absolutely. Every day of the week.
Alright, make a wisdom save for me.
It's cocked.
Why would you do this? So why?
Okay. So 14 on the die, plus efficiency. That makes it... Yeah, plus 4. So that is 17.
Alright, and what were you thinking when you looked at this mirror shard and you decided to engage with it?
I think I'm...
Yellow in the front. Yeah, that's there, Neon.
I would have been thinking I want more knowledge. I know... I am vaguely aware of the septums. Septums?
Septim.
Septins. Yeah. I'm vaguely aware of them. I knew that he was a wizard, but I don't know much else, so I think I would have been thinking about gaining more knowledge about like our current situation, environment, world, kind of.
You need to be more precise. What are you... You get to ask one question. One question. What is that question? This is a...
You try to hit us.
What's pulling me? What am I being guided towards?
That's your question? You could have asked me anything else that I could have given you an exact answer for. Anything else. Alright, let me think for a second. I need a moment or two to think about this. Tell you what. You think about this as you look into this mirror, and you can almost see your own reflection. And as you're looking at it, you see your reflection turn away from you. And you're going to take 4 points of psychic damage. And at this point, you hear Assy. Assy, go ahead, talk to him.
You motherfucker.
That's what you get for thinking.
What? I was just
Me.
asking if you've come across any books about ritual magic. Or elven high magic.
Sorry, I was elsewhere.
This last round.
Not that I've noticed. There's a lot of things about history and
Are we
sorts like that. There is a large section of elven books over there, and I'll gesture to the small mountain. Sorry, I'm a little occupied at the moment. And I'll kind of walk away and kind of scratch my head.
Little rude. I'm just gonna shrug and go over and look at the books he pointed out and sort of lick my wounds while I look around for books about Elvenheim magic.
Okay. You won't find any of those, but you do see his collection. You can find it, but I'll tell you the titles in case you guys care. There's the uses of Brightstone. There's the mining in the Gloom. It's a list of things that could be found in the Deep Gloom. There's a Bright History, which is a history of how Brightstone is used. A Touch of Covens, which is the Witch Covens of Sigwolf. Mists and Mysteries, which is a mysteries books written about Sigwolf. Life in a Keg, which is a powder keg journal. Black Gold, which is how the gunpowder is made on Fingolm. Why We Bleed, which is a treatise of Sigwolf written by a Fire Ifriti. Fire and Frost, A Tale of Defiance, which is a Fingolm's connection to the Fire Plane, written from the point of view of a Sigwolf pioneer.
Okay.
So those are what he set aside. If you want, I can let you make one roll to try to find one other book of your sort. Do you want it to be high magic?
I want high magic or ritual magic.
Alright, high or low? Actually, just roll a perception check, because I already know what's in there or
Can
not.
it be investigation?
Yeah,
Because
it can be investigation.
Thank you. Cool. That's only a 13.
Sadly, you get to the section of his library where you think this would be, and you don't find anything about high magic. It doesn't seem to be something Oba was interested in. Sad
Fucking
to say.
lame.
Yeah, he's kind of lame. He's a history nerd. But there are
Okay.
several books about the founding of Aramoni, which is weird, because that's only just recently happened, and yet he already owns 3 books on the subject.
He wrote them.
One of them is written by him, actually.
I'm gonna take the book written by him for the sake of it.
Okay.
Just because that's kind of funny.
It's called Forging a Council. And it's
Okay.
a book written... There you go. Forging a Council. So you can add that as well. So besides that, what else are you guys doing now that you have all reunited in this wonderful little town sans 3 buildings and a tower?
I'm gonna relax for a little bit, and then once I think it's about the right time, I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go back to meet up with the elf guy again, because he told me in the morning to come back in the evening.
Okay. What about Cole and Shalashal?
I'm starting to think you're just fucking with me.
Oh yeah.
Assuming that we kind of went through everything in the tower, and no one else seems to need my help, I'm probably going to go to the main gate and take up post. Tala said she was coming back, but haven't heard from her. I mean, she only sent a tap. It's only been a couple hours, but I just want to be available in case there's any issues regarding like safety of the town or Tala's coming.
Okay. And Cole.
What time of day is it?
It's dusky.
I'll go start prepping dinner for everyone.
Alright. When you get in there, you'll see that A-Rod is hanging about. He's easy to be found. Same with the 2 twins and Nikolai. And yeah, you're able to get in there and get to work. Nikolai's there as well. If you want to engage with any of them, feel free to let me know. But first, I will start with Assi, if that's fine with you. I'll take your silence as a yes.
Yep.
Alright. So, my friend, Dathal Castiel. You find your way to, once again, his perfect little freshly painted door.
Okay. I'll knock on the door
Alright. Knock
and
after a
just
couple
sort
of
of
minutes. He
use one shoulder on the door frame because I am tired. It's been a long day.
Right, he opens the door. It's actually a very nice, quick, smooth opening, as everything with this man does seem to be a practiced motion, one way or another. As it swings open, he looks you over. He kind of frowns at your disheveled appearance.
Yes, unfortunately, this is what happens when you deal with a wizard's tower.
Yes, I heard about that, but at least it is dealt with, so I suppose you are no worse for wear then. You
Hopefully.
asked earlier, and I'll be quite plain, and I'll save you time. You need to understand that what you've asked is difficult to teach, if not impossible to teach, unless you are interested indefinitely or particularly gifted. I don't know if you count as either of those things, but given that you have done a service for this town, I have something for you, but I won't be able to guide you through it.
That's understandable. I don't believe we meant to loiter in this town much longer anyways. But if you can at least set me on a path to begin learning, I would greatly appreciate it.
That he puts his hand down to a pocket that's kind of like behind him. It looks like it's on his back waist. And he pulls out a very small sort of book. It almost looks like a prayer book when you first see it. And he holds it out to you.
Okay.
It doesn't have a title, but it does have like very nice scroll work around it. All of it is, it almost looks like barbed wire design with like little leaves here and there. It's definitely very elvish, and it's written or it's designed with the older sensibilities. Again, this goes back to the time when Thornforest was needed, right? And elves of Char were very militaristic. And that's kind of what you get. You get this little prayer book that has a few little rituals in it, if you wanted to give it a look.
I will accept the book from him, bow my head respectfully. I appreciate this immensely. I don't know if I have talent, but I would like to think that I am at least driven enough to pursue this.
Well, only time will tell. That is one of the things that holds true with this sort of magic. If you're not patient, then it won't come.
I believe I can afford to be patient with the lifespan I've been given.
But if there's any advice I can give you, look to understand, not to see.
I shall try my best to. Thank you. I won't keep you from whatever it is you are doing any longer.
Good. Please go tend to your wounds. They're difficult to look at. And he'll actually reach his hand towards you, and he's going to heal you for 6 points and close the gash on your forearm.
Thank you. I appreciate your kindness. And I'm going to leave after giving him a very formal goodbye, because he seems like a very formal sort of man.
Yeah, and he returns it as well. He actually gives you a slight little bow. Only from like the chest up, you know, he doesn't bow at the waist, just the chest.
But it's some acknowledgement.
Yeah. As you leave, he's already like fussing over the place you were leaning. He's kind of polishing it up a little. And again, you feel like it's not out of a disrespect thing, but it's a matter of just like, this is how he likes his stuff. It needs to be this way. You know,
he's very particular as a person.
Yeah, he's not doing it out of disgust. He's not doing it to be mean. He's doing it because he is the incarnation of OCD. With that, he closes his door and gets back to whatever it is that this weird little elf is doing at this time.
I'm gonna go back to the house that we were sharing and sit down and wait until there's food, and then look through the book, meditate some.
Okay. Anything I should be aware of while you guys are in this little room? Nikolai does kind of press you guys, you know. The conversation starts simple enough with him going, so, what happened with the tower?
It fell?
Are we able to stay still? Are we leaving soon?
Actually, I wouldn't. Like, how soon do you need to leave?
Again, probably
w-
the sooner the better that I can get to Milscar, but... plus, I mean, I don't know what Tala is, but there was also mention of... what's his name coming this way, and we would probably be best to avoid him, being as there's still a price on my head.
Yeah, and considering how we knocked down a whole tower, probably best we leave soon too.
Um,
We didn't knock it down, it fell.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure our dwarven friend won't see it that way.
Yeah, he's probably not very happy with us.
Yeah, that's his problem. We got rid of Brightstone.
Yeah.
That's not
I
something
mean-
we're just sitting around.
We don't even really know why the tower fell. Jitch didn't die, he disappeared. So, I mean, can we really be held at fault? We were there, but I certainly didn't do anything that definitively caused it to fall, so...
That would be my fault. I destroyed a seal.
What did you do?
I
And you
left it.
just didn't want to tell us this?
Well, I didn't exactly get a chance to.
You see, you came up to me, you slapped the stone out of my hand, and then you took off running.
Well, yeah,
Hey.
that was Brightstone.
You couldn't say, "Oh, my bad," and then left, and you left me to deal with the dwarf.
Creatures we fought last night. How do you think they became like that?
Well, that's the reason. That's the whole reason I got the books, to learn. Because I prompted you, and you were like, and then you left.
I
So-
thought it was poisonous. What more do you need to know?
Is it poisonous?
I thought
It
they were just
poisons
that
the very
way.
air around it. Why do you think it was sealed in that box?
I mean, just don't ingest it then.
I would have had that if my fucking camera angle wasn't plugged in at least that.
Like you know, poison you intake. That's how poison works. Just me.
Poison can be taken many
It's a
ways. And
hot
be
chip.
something that you breathe, that you
Not just hot chips.
stabbed
hot
with,
singular.
or it can be
A
something
singular chip.
that simply soaks into your skin.
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't suppose anyone has heard any rumors of, like, singing in the forest? We heard something odd on the way back. A-Rod, Nikolai,
Kind of sick.
twins? Any thoughts?
And
Oh, what the fuck?
Nikolai kind of like cocks his head a little bit and he goes, what do you mean singing?
I barely heard it, but there was kind of far away from, like, maybe like a small castle, tower, big house.
Well, there's a few keeps in Thorn Forest. There has been one rumor that's been spreading around. And people are saying one of the paladins has come back and he's been singing.
We saw walls, as if high upon a castle.
All
Didn't
I
the
know,
dwarf
and
lady
it's
say
not
something about a paladin?
it's not much. There was a fellow. People are saying that his castle is haunted, and they say his name was Uldrak. He was a dragonborn. But
Huh.
I don't really look much into ghosts, but that's just what some of the people around town have been saying. Some were saying maybe he's the reason that the animals are coming against us, but, you know, there's been several rumors.
the thing about rumors is, usually at one point or another, there's some fraction of truth to them.
Sure, but
I mean, I guess none of us really believed in the vicars until recently.
And yet there was most likely rumors of some creature sailing the seas. For some
Well,
reason sailors couldn't sail.
you
right?
to understand that all of that is just Sigwell's propaganda, and the reason that they need everything. It's a common thing they bring up if you've ever had to deal with people from Sigwolf. Force demand. Don't get me wrong, I'm human. I come from there. But that's their main bargaining chip in every argument. We need this because we stopped the vicars. And we would always say, what vicars? And now the elves see, right? So, you know, it's, again, I'm human, I'm from there, I get it, but it's a little overplayed.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
if
mean,
they
there's
pull that much
only
trust
so
Brad.
many times you can play the same card before people start
Oh, okay.
being like,
Yeah, just
But you know, it is true, and maybe the elves will listen. I mean, who's to say what's going to happen? That's probably why my father wants me home so bad. You know, with the whole alimony council and all of that. Things are going to be complex to me. I'm not really looking forward to it.
I stand by what I said the other day.
We still have a duty.
Go. Say the word.
It'll be fine. And besides, when I get there, I'll be able to help Danny and Sarah. And he gestures towards the two twins who are... They're off to the side. They're just eating their food. They're being quiet, but they are definitely listening to this conversation. And that's something that's been a theme with them. They don't really talk much, but both of them are usually very close to him and listening. So again, what's the plan then? Singing? Are we leaving? Are we waiting for Tala?
I was about to ask the same thing. What is our next move?
So just before Tap Tap left,
come on, you wanna play some
Um,
Apex?
I was contacted by Tala. I told her that we would wait here for her. So I'm gonna go. There's a guards posted at the gate. I'm gonna go over there and I'm going to take a rest out there and take a nap while they're guarding and wait for her. She contacted me once. I just want to make sure she gets back safe.
But she's probably 2 days from here still. If she
I couldn't say.
contacted Tap Tap last night and we were a 3 days journey, she could be
You know what? Bazinga.
anywhere
Yeah.
from 1 to 3 days.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd
No,
just rather
no.
be close available. I mean, I guess it's not much of a walk
shit.
from the house to the front gate, so...
Okay, but it's still, that means we have 1 to 3 days
Yeah.
here, so are we staying to ourselves? Are you guys getting up to anything else? Are there any buildings I should not be staying in?
Oh, this one's fine, for sure. I
I
think.
don't think we intend to knock down any more buildings.
The only thing I'm worried about is the dwarf. He was pretty insistent on us helping with the town. We solved his tower problem, but now what are we gonna do?
Apparently bomb.
I was
I
gonna
mean,
suggest
we could go out of town and check out the keep, but
We're in the game.
isn't it kind of a bit too distracting from the job at hand? And I'll gesture to the girls. We still have to stay close. We still have to bring them down. We can't just go wandering off.
Imagine.
I was gonna suggest that no matter what our next plan is, we at least take the time to take a nice long rest and get our energies back. We've been going at it pretty hard.
Yeah, I definitely say some downtime is needed. It's nice to have a roof over my head instead of sleeping on the
I
road.
wouldn't say no to a bit of a rest.
Is there
Oh, man,
anything
I
else?
love beds so much.
Is there
I
anything?
don't need one, but I love them.
I agree. I'm a fan of beds too, but aside from looking at this castle, waiting for Tala, hiding from Bismuth, is there anything else in this town worth looking into or figuring out? Have you guys heard anything else?
I haven't.
I don't believe so. I mean, the only other source of knowledge is the old elf that AC's been touching base with, shall we say. I think he'd probably be the best bet of information. Bismuth seems to play his cards pretty close to his chest.
Okay.
I can't say of anything. I looked through Wither's Tower, but I don't think so. Might be worth taking another look around before you leave, but I think as soon as Tala gets back, we head out of town.
Okay, so we just have to wait here 2 days to 3 and just not get in trouble.
That sounds like a tall order, doesn't it?
I'm gonna say easier said than done, but I'm fairly certain I can try and keep Cora out of trouble, and I'll nudge you.
Yeah, because he's the one I'm worried about.
Yeah, he's a troublemaker.
I feel like people are looking at me.
Okay, well, then I guess we might as well just settle on down for the night. Are you staying for dinner, Shalashar? Cora made something lovely. Cora, what did you make?
Fried everything.
Fried everything. His specialty, I believe.
Everything.
Smells pretty good.
Yeah, I could eat.
Well,
It's been a day.
please.
No abortions either.
I dare you, Salashar, and I pull one of the squirrel eyes out of my bag of pickling to eat this.
Are we gonna wager anything on this? Am I getting it? Sure. I'll just grab it and just lift up my mask and just toss it down the hatch.
I want to try and see his face.
I only lift it basically a little bit so you could probably see part of my chin or my
I'm still trying to see. What do I see? Do I have to roll?
Sure, make a perception check.
Ooh! Ooh! 15.
15.
That's real good for me.
You can see the smallest amount. He's clean shaven. You know that much. He's clean shaven, and he seems to have very white skin. Not quite alabaster. Maybe there's like a little tint of yellow to it. You know, so he's a very, very pale, clean shaven man. Oh,
Does he
woman?
look a little jaundiced?
I won't say jaundice. Jaundice, you'd need to see his eyes.
jaundice also is reflected in the skin with the yellowish tinge.
Yeah, I
But
wouldn't
like,
say
it's
that.
very pale and very sallow.
I wouldn't say that, you know, but his skin's very tight, you know. You don't see a nary a wrinkle upon the tiny little fraction of chin that you see.
Okay.
Elf age.
I'm just gonna frown just a little annoyed that he didn't lift his mask higher.
Maybe one day I'll show you my face, but
Russ?
hey, Core. And I'll just turn to you and I'll take off my mask. See? Skin.
Ooh, that is nasty.
Reset my mask.
Oh, you are right.
See.
Oh, that is bad condition. Yeah, just keep the mask.
Core can at least... He seems like he has a stronger constitution,
Yeah, it's
if you
really
will.
sad.
Oh.
I'm not certain if you'd be able to stomach it.
Yeah,
I have a pretty strong constitution.
it's very frightening. You know, you would say he has a very gaunt appearance.
I know.
So,
And maybe alopecia, not a single hair on his body. No, I found
Nick.
nothing.
I'm Nikki.
This keeps up, I'm gonna start claiming sexism.
I mean, why? Do we even... I don't know anything about kobolds. Are there multiple
You
sexes?
don't even know what sex I am.
Kobold?
We don't exactly show
Chaos?
it, you know.
I just assumed
So-
male.
Are all kobolds showers, not growers?
No, they're not.
You have like that dad energy.
That's kind of ironic considering my age.
I feel like you would be the person of this group most likely to tell me that you're not mad at me, just disappointed.
Tiny fucking
I
computer.
I see
Exactly
that.
like my
Someday.
father.
Wow.
Once you do something to deserve it,
Are you saying I haven't yet? I'm gonna have to try harder.
Well, I believe then, if this is all we're doing tonight, we could tuck down for the night and start again tomorrow.
Oh, one more thing before we sleep. And I'm going to pull the white gloves out of my pocket, because I would have put them away when I was handling the Brightstone. Didn't want to accidentally blow it up. And I'm going to put them down in front of me. These are powder gloves from Sigwolf.
From
Anybody get
Fingol.
punchy? From Fingolf, sorry.
Or Sigwolf. It could be either or. Or maybe it's Char. You're not
What
too
do they-
sure.
Anyways,
It's not Yun. That's all you know.
punch it, people.
I mean, Tor and I are the ones mostly in combat, so
Yeah.
I mean, either of
Okay,
us.
You guys can roll for them.
Ashes already arrived.
And I'm going to put my set of dice on the table.
Do you want Core?
It's
I usually just stick to my spear.
I mean, I'll take them.
Beelzebub?
Worst case scenario, we just find someone else later to sell them to, or find a reason to use them.
if they get sold, I demand half of the payment that they are sold for.
I mean, that's fair.
So May was real excited about that deal again.
Okay, they're yours then.
Alright, and if you need them, Core, if you want them.
Well, here. It's long and it lets me poke things.
Keeps you safe.
Yeah, that's what the shield was for.
So I'll just take off my like the top layer of armor from my splint, and I'll basically just stick them over top of my leather gauntlets, and then just pull the splint over it.
You want to put something over top of the powder gloves?
No, I'm putting. Yes. So I need to know exactly how they work, so I don't
Right.
blow myself
Big
up.
So-
brain moves there.
You have gloves with holes on the knuckles. When you squeeze them, this powder fills the holes, and then when you punch something, the powder ignites, and there's an explosion where your fist is.
I'm putting them on top. Fair enough.
You
Bang! I should learn that don't do stupid things.
And they take one of your attunement slots.
Okay.
Alright. Well then, I believe that's it. We could settle down for the night, and we could probably end this episode here.
I think settling down would be good. Try and get some rest.
Oh yeah.
Alright. Well,
I'm out of everything.
in that case, you guys can all settle down, except Shalasha, who wants to go stand guard, or are you settling down with the rest of the group?
I'll settle down and rest like I normally do.
Fantastic. Alright. In that
It's a lot
case,
spec.
to those of you that showed up to watch the live stream, thank you. I appreciate it. And we will see you guys hopefully next week or the week after, given our current schedule of being all over the place. But thank you for joining us. Hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.